Hey everybody, we are driving home from the theater. We just got out of seeing Wicked for Good, the follow-up to Wicked from last year. Jeffrey, what'd you think?
So I have to reckon with last year on this channel, I made the prediction that Wicked for Good would be a snore fest.
You did.
And it's because I heard that the second half of the play is not as good. And um, I don't know. In some ways, I feel like this film is definitely like not as engaging as the first film, although it's like not bad. I mean, I don't know. There's like a circuitous and like kind of elongated way that it goes about its plotting that I found kind of annoying. Like I feel like we're constantly getting sidetracked and taking like the most complicated route to get to what we all know is going to be the destination. And it does like overburden itself, I think, with integrating details from the Wizard of Oz, which I understand that like we're in the land of the Wizard of Oz. I actually did not know. I've never seen Wicked, so I did not know that the second half of this takes place in the same time frame as the Wizard of Oz. And I thought that the way they integrated some of the details was kind of smart and interesting, and like brought a depth and complexity to the Wizard of Oz that I liked. And there were other ways in which they did that that I found kind of unnecessary, to be honest. Overall, I would say that like it's as visually accomplished as the first film. Like the costume design is amazing. The set design is amazing. In some ways, I actually feel like it might be better visually than the first film. Like I was a little more swept up in the grandeur of the set design this time than I was last time, and maybe some of that too was we saw this one in IMAX versus the first one we did not. But I was kind of looking at some of the imagery and being like, oh wow, this is like really really dense and interesting and otherworldly in ways that I don't normally see in film. And I think Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are the absolute highlight as they were in the first film. I think they're both terrific, especially Ariana Grande. I think like
This is like her movie.
this is her
In a way.
movie, and yeah, she really brings like a lot of depth to the role. I mean, not necessarily like complexity, like psychological complexity, but just in terms of like selling big emotional moments. I think she frankly couldn't be better. I think the film is kind of like not that skilled tonally in the way that it navigates all of these different things it's trying to do, that you can kind of feel whiplash from one scene to the other that doesn't feel cohesive, I don't think. So I would say that I'm mixed, but I don't think that there's like a giant quality like gap between this film and the first film. But at the same time, like I'm never going to be someone that like loves Wicked, so take it with like a grain of salt, I guess. What'd you think?
Yeah, well, this is interesting because I have never seen the play, but I have listened to all the music for like years, and I've heard that the second half of the play isn't as maybe engaging as the first half. Like there's not as like the songs aren't as great. And you do feel that. I actually really agree with you. I'm a little bit mixed with the film. And I think it starts out really strong, and then there's like this middle section that's just a just narrative info dump that just feels like it's chugging its way from like item to item like a checklist.
Yeah.
And then
And it
when
seems like, sorry to interrupt, but it seems like a character's motivation like changes on a dime, and then
yeah,
they have a song, and then it changes again on a dime.
yeah. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I don't think it's a fault of the film. I think it's a fault of the play.
Yeah.
It seems like it's it's following the play. So I think as people have said that the play is kind of weak in its second act. I felt that too, and I appreciate a lot of its themes though. I just wish they were just a bit deeper.
I
Uh,
agree. Like the
there's some
oh
great stuff in there.
yeah, there's some like interesting stuff about just like propaganda and groupthink and how like sometimes it's actually more beneficial to confirm like an existing theory within groupthink rather than tell them that they're wrong. Like
Yeah,
there's some like really complex ideas that they could have explored a little bit more, but even like the wizard has a song in this movie that I thought was like super interesting and was not anticipating that.
it makes a case for itself existing in its film, like having its film moments in this particular time and place that I think we find ourselves in as a world and as a country. So I think it's kind of very relevant that this film was made right now. So yeah, there were parts of it I really loved. I think the last 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes or so, when the twister comes and Dorothy arrives, from there I was on board completely. But before that, I'm a little shaky. But I guess we'll get more into that with our full review.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was worthy. I do like the first one better than the second one still.
Yeah. I will say when the movie started, I was like, yo, here we go. Like there's a good like 5 or 10 minutes at
Yes.
the beginning of the movie that I'm like,
Yes.
this is sick. Like you have like a rabble-rousing wicked witch that's like messing stuff up. It's great. And then yeah, the film I think pretty quickly like loses itself or like just I don't know. It just starts to like follow these odd paths.
Yeah,
But
which we'll get into
yeah.
in our full review coming in a few days.
Yeah. Galinda the good, not so much. Galinda the bad, most of this movie.
Yeah.
She's mean.